What is up, all of you awesome and amazing people on YouTube? The old Coot here coming at you with a 67-hour update. Oh my God. So I started this process at 3 p.m. 2.5 days ago, I guess, right? And now it's 10 a.m. So here we go. We're going to see which water bottle shall reign supreme. This one, I'm convinced, either is damaged or it's a first generation Hydro Flask. Because if you notice the difference between the two, right? The flange is different. The height's different. Maybe this is a single wall. I don't know. It might be a counterfeit. But anyways, this one I'm convinced is the real deal Hydro Flask. This is the JoyJolt. And this one here is the Cycle Deal, which is meant for bicycle riders, e-bike riding, that kind of stuff. So there's no ice left in any of these. I don't believe so. No. So there's the Cycle Deal. Here's the JoyJolt, right? There's that. Here's the Hydro Flask. There's that. There's the counterfeit Hydro Flask, or whatever you want to call it. So baseline, here's our room temperature, right? 69.4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test these. So here's my counterfeit Hydro Flask. 66 degrees, right? Which sounds about right, I guess, because it's the morning. These have been chilling out in a corner of my kitchen. Oh, by the way, let me get through this and I'll explain what the setups were. So actually a little bit cooler. There you go. So still holding at 54.7 degrees after 67 hours of having ice and water. But I'll explain the setup in a second here. This was my favorite. Oh yes, man, look at that. 67 hours later, still holding true at 45.7 degrees. So these two were my two favorites, but this is my favorite of the bunch. You have to choose, one child over the other when you're in a tragic accident, boat sinking. You got to pick one. Anyways, just kidding. Okay, 64.8, right? Basically almost at our baseline room temp tone, but still holding, for being 67 hours, this is still holding strong. Okay, so let me just measure these two again. Right, we'll go backwards. So there you go, 46.4. Oh my God, for being 67 hours. I mean, that is just amazing at keeping, your beverage cold or whatever. There's this one, 54 hours. So not that much difference between the two. It's still holding strong. And then this was our counterfeit one baseline room temp tone. So 65. So between this one, let's say between this one, 65.8, and between the Cycle Deal, right, 64.9. Yeah, so I would say this one has come up to room temperature. So let me explain what happened, how we got to this point. So I filled them all up with ice, right, to the very, edge right there. Then I poured in enough water to cover the ice. So basically each of these three anyways got the same amount. These are 32 ounces. This one I believe is an 18 ouncer. So same amount of ice and water. This one failed first. And I think it's because it's just a counterfeit or whatever. I think it's just not, it's either a single wall, it's a counterfeit. But I will do a separate video here on how to tell the difference between these two models. We'll do that later. This one was holding up pretty good, right? This is our second place. And then this is obviously our first place, the JoyJolt. Did extremely well. I mean, this had ice even at 40 some odd hours yesterday. It still had some ice in there. So anyways, filled them all up with ice up to the top, then basically tapped off with the water. Did that for all four of these, and I was really expecting the Hydro Flask to be the winner, but I would say JoyJolt is our winner, because it's 40 some odd degrees or whatever that was. Let me go ahead and pull up the thermometer again. I may actually go another 12 hours just to see what happens. So there's room temp, right? 66-ish degrees. Let me go ahead and put this back in. And just to get, I mean, that's incredible. 44.2 degrees, 44.1 degrees for keeping your water cold. 43.9, it's still going down. Oh my God, 43.7. For keeping water cold, let me do this one again, just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, so you're talking about a 6 degree difference, 5 degree difference, which is pretty amazing. But anyways, for keeping water cold for that long, I'm really impressed with this JoyJolt. So anyways, I filled them up with ice and water. I put them in a corner of my kitchen, right? They got the same amount of daylight, the same amount of nighttime. They were all on the same playing field. And I have to say, this is my first place winner. This is my second place winner. This would be the third place winner. And this would be, you know, obviously coming in last. But pretty amazing. There's my screenshot for the video. But pretty amazing. I mean, you got to admit, like, for keeping water cold for nearly 3 days, you know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go another, like, let's say a full 12 hours more, just to see, you know, where we're at after that point. But I'm waiting for this to come up to like 66 degrees, you know, and we're going to see how long it takes for this to come up to room temperature. Anyways, I'm going to reseal these. I did put links down below in the description to all of these if you want to go ahead and check them out. Also, thank you to ThermoPro for making such a great digital meat thermometer. I will put a link to this down below. There is my leftover Thanksgiving dinner, in case you all are curious. I got my dark meat, I got my white meat, I got my mashed potatoes, I got my cranberry sauce, and I got my stuffing. That's basically my Thanksgiving leftovers. Anyways, with that being said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down there below. Check out the description section down there below for links to these. Also, I put them in the comments section as well. If you have a comment, go ahead and post that up, and I will catch you all on the next exciting video.